And we're back. This has been a hell of a series thus far. Na'Vi and Fnatic squaring off in our lead best of three of the day. Winner advances through the upper bracket and we'll meet Team Empire coming up tomorrow. Our second series of the day will be Rocks taking on EG, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Likely to run a little bit late as we're just getting this last game started at 11:36, and the other was scheduled for 12, so we should be going right from one on into the other. But so far, Game 1, Fnatic absolutely trounced Na'Vi. It was a 26-minute GG and complete domination on all phases of the game. Well, I guess you can only say one or two phases of the game as we never really got past the early mid-game. But Na'Vi bounced back and played well in Game 2. Took a very late win, but a win nonetheless, and now looking to make it 2 in a row. They lead off again with Enigma. Puppy played that last time, only threw a couple of black holes, two that I could think of. One connected, one was stutter step, but holding on to it nonetheless. He was very effective. They grabbed some more team fight with the 900 pickup. Fnatic has led off with that Marauder. Joining me for the broadcast, as always, is Strauf. And hello, Meepo.
So they ban out the Wisp. They banned out the Tinker. What's left? It's basically Meepo picked up here in this first phase, picking phase for Fnatic. And Marauder's also very, very good in general. We saw it banned out actually in the first two. I think actually Fnatic banned it out if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, it's picked up here. Yeah, early Meepo pick up here for Fnatic. I unfortunately didn't see the game that Excalibur played, but I did see a highlight video on YouTube. Shout out, I forget who actually posted it. So shout out to whoever that was. Maybe chat can help me there. But Tide and Enigma here early on for Na'Vi. Really, really strong. I feel like Enigma is like really making a place in the scene consistently now.
Oh, yeah.
And it's because he's actually quite flexible. One of the great things about him, too, is like in the sense that Enchantress is good, is even if you block out some camps, Enigma can... we see EG actually like run him as a dual lane in the off lane. Actually, with Tide, we've seen it before.
Right.
If you need to. You can go the offensive jungle. You can also gank around once you get levels up in the Malefice because it's one of the best stuns in the game. It really is. So, yeah, Na'Vi picked up the Enigma early on here. Meepo's picked up, though. It should be fun to watch.
Well, something that you didn't used to see it that much, but like you said, the flexibility is there to the point that Enigma coming out much earlier in the draft. Generally speaking, usually you would see an Enigma pickup come out last because you didn't want to tip your hand. You didn't want to give the opposing team an opportunity to draft heroes like Silencer, like Beastmaster, what have you. They can just deal with the black hole. But they really didn't have too much struggle with that. And, you know, I guess you could say, you could take it either way. You could say, well, Na'Vi did a good job of getting a lot out of it despite holding on to that as long as they did. But at the same time, Fnatic did fail to capitalize a few times. We talked about that. The Silencer play was there at times, but there definitely was a reluctancy to pull the trigger on the ult, and that cost them in a few situations as well. So don't know that we'll see Fnatic go back to that, likely to try something different. Na'Vi, though, has drafted an absolute massive ton of team fight, picking up the Disruptor now, and they've got a lot of ways to corral those Meepos.
They really certainly do. Like, Disruptor is just good. I feel like there's never a bad lineup for Disruptor, ever. Like, I feel like even... I can't think of a situation where you picked a Disruptor and you're like, oh, nah, shouldn't have picked Disruptor there. Like,
Right.
Like, it's always good. It's always useful. All of his spells are good at anything, like zoning heroes out, catching them back with Glimpse, canceling TPs with Glimpse, AoE damage, AoE silence. Like, it's just everything. He doesn't have like a hard stun, but he doesn't really need one with all the other abilities being so good. So yeah, I really like the early drafting here for Na'Vi. They're not even necessarily showing all their cards. Like they have a good a Disruptor pick for their support that's kind of versatile, can go to different lanes. Doesn't have to stay top. He can go or wherever they're going to go. He can go mid. He can help harass and smoke, maybe kill bottom or something.
Right.
Tidehunter most likely going to go in the off lane, but we saw Na'Vi do some kind of strange things in Game 1. Hopefully they fix those problems as they did in Game 2. But yeah, Disruptor, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, I really want to see how Fnatic's going to end up drafting from here on out and what they're going to decide to pull out to complement the Meepo. You and I both, we were kind of working. You know, we were here on site, so we didn't get to see that Meepo game that was apparently so crazy. I did catch some of the highlights and the such, but I really want to see how they're going to try. I mean, there are two things that you have to worry about a lot with Meepo. He is an absolute beast if he's able to farm, and yep, never mind. They are going to go right back to Silencer. So feeling comfortable in that as a counter to both Tide and Enigma, as well as the Disruptor to a lesser extent, but largely just to try to take Ravage and Black Hole out of the equation as much as you can. But at any rate, we didn't get to see that. But, you know, you need to make space for him early on. He can be effective as a ganker. Earthbind is very, very strong and so on. And, you know, so you need to be able to be aggressive elsewhere or play defensive if you want to. But then after that, you can really begin to pour it on. Once he gets up things like a blink, a heart, his boots, etc., he really is a force to be reckoned with, especially with poof damage. Just unbelievable how quickly he can burst down a hero if he's caught out by himself in particular, but the AoE damage is huge as well.
Ooh.
Looks like Na'Vi, now that they've got their team fight, they're going to go for straight burst, going with the PA pick.
Yeah, I love PA. I especially am a big fan of the Battle Fury build. We'll have to wait and see. Not to say that the other build with the phase, drums, and Helm of the Dominator build is bad. I think it's still very effective. I'm just a big fan of the Battle Fury because I think you can farm so fast, especially if people stack Ancients for you. But then again, Ancients might be covered by Tide. We'll have to wait and see what kind of build he wants to go for. But also, Battle Fury is good against Meepo. Like, if he poofs in, you get a nice crit. It can kind of tank down those Meepos, and then you kind of have to play scared right from the get-go in a team fight. So, yeah, again, we'll have to wait and see. I can't give enough credit to Puppy from last game for Enigma. He had a hell of a time. First of all, his boots were stolen. But just the lineup he had to play against, come on, like a Doom, a Roar on top of BKB, even if he wants to get that Black Hole. This is why we didn't see Black Holes, by the way. Right. It's because they had so many tools against the double global silence, and he still was just such a factor in team fights without the ulti. So it says a lot when he's picking this early, when you can have counters, quote-unquote counters, come out against him like Silencer. They didn't even pick up Rubik because they pick up Earthshaker here. But he's just very confident in that I don't need my ulti. I can just be effective with massive farming potential with the Eidolons and a good stun and being able to get up some core items for my team like Pipe and Mech, which he had last game. So it says a lot about the confidence of Puppy and just his skill and just the smartness, if that's even a word, terrible word, but his wits and just like being able to come out and just play perfectly against counters. So it really says a lot for him.
Well, I feel like a lot of it comes down to patience, too. Just the ability to recognize what the team needs and regardless of what your capabilities might even be, not trying to push any further than really where you need to be, just to give your team the best chance to succeed. And I feel like he did a fantastic job of that in Game 2, but lineups finally down to the last couple of picks. Earthshaker was the last pickup for Fnatic. No-Tail has a habit of playing that out, but as we've seen, I mean, they've got a couple of players who can play a Meepo, so it wouldn't surprise me at all to see Excalibur on the Meepo with No-Tail handling that Shaker. No-Tail Shaker is actually pretty damn good.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it is in the times I've seen it too. He's just been really effective. Last pick here for Na'Vi. Most likely they need a mid, and it's hard to predict really what's going to go mid. Did they run? Do you know by chance if they ran Meepo in mid in those games in that game against? It was Alliance, right? Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't know where he ran it, basically. But Meepo can go mid. But if he does, Invoker's actually quite good. I mean, he's a solid mid. So there you go. Nice rounded out lineup there for Na'Vi. Invoker's just kind of like a perfect end to that lineup. And the last one is going to be a Lich. Okay.
All right. Well, looks like it will be actually No-Tail is on the Silencer according to the initial picks. Excalibur, no surprise after his recent performance on Meepo to see him handling him this time. But yeah, I want to see if they end up swapping this out. Hani going on the Shaker this time of Oast, no surprise farming. Yeah, it's basically exactly standard coming out from Na'Vi. My question is, yeah, if it's Excalibur on the Meepo, I mean, you could run a Murano or a Silencer mid, but it would seem like it would make the most sense to put Meepo mid this time around, but he's going to need a little bit of help, and I wonder if they're going to end up roaming a bit like we've seen them do before, but we saw them do in the previous game too, just roaming around the Earthshaker or the Lich just to help him out some.
Yeah, again, it's hard to really predict, especially when I didn't do my homework, so to speak, and watch those games and watch the VODs, so it's going to be kind of hard to predict. My guess is some kind of like dual lane Lich bottom top. Although it looks like Trixie's walking towards the bottom lane. Maybe this is just for scouting purposes. But yeah, I actually am not even going to guess because I have no freaking clue what Fnatic is going to do for the lane. So, But yeah, it looks like it's a poor man's up onto Excalibur. He's walking a little bit towards mid. Maybe they pool him. And it will be Hani with the kind of a roaming Earthshaker as he's bought boots with 3 clarity. So Hani is going to be playing more of a 4 kind of role here in this game.
Well, they're moving as 5, at least for the moment. Hani up out in front. As the rest of his team behind him, Excalibur going to lead the way now. They're going to go ahead and duck into the Dire Side secret shop, or not the secret shop, but jungle rather, and they may have a chance to catch someone. They're right out in front, and that was just pinged out. Puppy caught a glimpse of someone, so they're aware of what's going on. They've got a few split off to the side. That's going to be Kuro and Fnatic. Fnatic actually taking a little bit of auto attack damage. Arrow, woohoo! right underneath the arm, it looked like. And now they're going to collapse back onto him, knowing the Sacred Arrow's on cooldown. There's going to be a gush onto Excalibur, who's slow out of the gate. Going to glimpse him back amidst everyone. Puppey has yet to place a skill point. There's going to be a fantastic fissure, though. Funnick's going to be first blood, and now Kuro has to make a run. No! Brought down by the second Sacred Arrow. Trixie had just had it come off cooldown, and it looked like Na'Vi was in a great position to take first blood. Instead, a phenomenal fissure from Hani split him in half, and they managed to clean up too.
Here's the thing. They had a nice idea. They caught him out, but, okay, first of all, he's got a Poor Man's, which is really, really good early on against auto attack damage. It blocks so much. Okay, but they started out with the Gush, which is, if you look at it, the only damaging ability that Na'Vi has. Invoker, no spells whatsoever, level 1. And I don't think it's wrong at all for Puppey to not skill Malefice, because that just takes away everything from the hero.
So much.
Oh god, here we come. Actually, Puppey's in trouble. There's a haste rune on a Hani.
Oh man.
And it's another kill. 3 kills to 0 before the creeps even really get to the lane. Trixie, he's body blocking Kuroki with some auto attacks from Hani. Still with the haste rune, actually just fades right now. There's another slow Nova coming out.
What a disaster.
It's 4-0 here early on. Oh no.
4-0. Na'Vi on the bad end. Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of that just comes down to this guy right here. Hani on the Earthshaker in less than 60 seconds has had a gigantic impact here on this early game. Getting that haste rune after, of course, the well-shot fissure that secured not just first blood, but a secondary kill as well. And now the lanes are a little bit more complicated. He is going to be hanging around here, and this is kind of what we expected, I think. Him to be dancing around between mid and other lanes as well. That's going to isolate at bottom. No-Tail, who is on the silencer this time, so switching it up there. It will be a one-on-one lane for Funnick, so he should do just fine and dandy. Up at top, it's going to be a 2-on-2 for all intents and purposes. Trixie and Fly matching up against Havost, who will be farming in lane, helped out by Kuro. And, yeah, Puppey in the jungle trying to do the best he can, but how did he actually steal the creep?
He stole the creep with the fissure, too.
Oh, man. He's almost level 3.
Yeah, and Puppey's not even level 2. He does counter ward, but it's not really going to fix too much. There's another sentry in that camp. And not to mention his main hard camp is actually blocked as well. So, I mean, I talked about the versatility of Enigma, which is true. You can be versatile, move around. But with a start 4-0 before creeps even come out, or I guess they came out, but before they even reach their lanes, it makes it a lot more difficult. Not to mention, extra levels on Meepo is, like, disastrous as a mid player, because it can be a good matchup, Invoker against Meepo. I would give the edge to, like, straight up Invoker.
Yeah.
But not with that start. Like, levels now with 2 Meepos, like, you can actually really outplay your mid opponent despite who they are, so, or what they're playing. So things are going to go fantastically. And as far as bottom lane, speaking of which, Funnick's in a lot of trouble body blocking. Hani, he does have a fissure, but he wants to catch it to where he can actually block him, and he does. Some more auto attacks. There's a lot of damage, even with a level 1 orb glaives. Can they get this? It's going to be close.
Oh, wow. He's actually hustling. He's got brown boots. Not enough mana for a fissure. He's about 20 mana off of it. Ooh, that magic stick should be enough. I don't know. I was going to say he may pursue it. He would have had a fissure up in about 5 to 8 seconds, but instead opting to play it safe, and that actually hurts them a bit because they both ran out. So wasted Tide's time, but ended up wasting their time as well. Still, it remains 4-0, and a big advantage here early for Fnatic, as we do see Puppey continuing to struggle. He's level 2.5, and Havost now could be in trouble. Trixie's right there with him, shot the Sacred Arrow. There's going to be, the follow-up Frost Blast from Fly, and they managed to make it 5-0. It's not just that they're getting kills, they're getting important kills on important heroes.
Yeah, and I didn't see why at the time. I don't know why he's not like 1-1-1 on PA. I think the one, you can even call it a value point if you want for PA, because it's actually a relatively low cooldown, even at level 1 for the Phantom Strike, just to be able to get away from stuff, especially when you have an aggressive dueling like Lich Mirana. Lich, by the way, is 4.5, and that's just the nature of how that hero functions.
Oh, yeah.
So, this is a disaster early on. I'm even looking at the CS, and it's just like all Fnatic.
Dive at bottom. No-Tail could be in trouble. Havost teleported down, and they decided to go for it off of the Gush. They will manage to clean him up. Sunstrike was there, but not needed. Off the mark anyway. And Havost switching lanes now, so a little bit of a change up, as they just don't like the complexion the early game was taking. Finally, they make it onto the board, make it 5-1.
Yeah, really smart rotation from Havost. And like it's easy to get thought in the mindset of, I have to go top, I can't go this lane because my Tide's there. Oh, he actually could be in some trouble, though.
Let's see. He does have the blink. There's the fissure. They have the damage to follow. And he actually blinks in the other direction.
He had to. But he's going to be running for a long time. The attack misses. I think he's still dead, though. Like he wasted a health potion, too.
Yep, and
he's dead.
See ya. Sent back to the well for the second time in the first 4 minutes. That's 6-1. Funnick is there under cover of an invis. he can maybe leech some XP, but Hani on this Earthshaker has really been the difference maker. Already has Arc Boots, and he is level 4.5 as well. What a game he's had.
Absolutely. Fnatic, he's got an Invis rune here just to scout things out. I think he should just hide and just soak up this experience that's about to come. I don't think he should be chasing. Yeah, let's go back and get that very large amount of experience. Maybe a couple last hits here and there, but all right, mid. It's basically like gonna have to be Na'Vi or sorry, Dendi here in mid to try to like help them out and really kind of get this game back in their core. Puppy's farming not too badly, all things considered. 21 CS in the jungle, having to work with a couple camps being blocked, although they were sentries, so they do go away quite quickly. Maybe look for an engagement top. This is their opening to get back in this game.
Yep, there's a kinetic field that'll catch Fly. Fly currently, yep, is spotted and will be brought down.
Oh my god, Havos
he does die!
What?
Oh, man!
Greed at its greatest. Oh boy.
Havos. That's his third death in 5.5 minutes, man. He's died 3 times.
There's literally no excuse for that to happen. Like that was just complete greed. Also, I think that Puppy was holding the Malefice and trying to get the biggest bang for his buck, maybe find the Potom as well. But yeah, either way, it's not Puppy's fault. There's no reason Havos should have stayed there. He was trying to get the last hit and get some extra gold for himself. But you also have to credit Fly for anticipating that movement and trying to get something out of it. Midas coming up very early here for Trixie. That's a great timing.
Oh, yeah. Especially given the situation, because ostensibly it's been a 2-on-3. I mean, yes, the Enigma's largely been in the jungle, but you have to play and expect that he's going to end up. He actually could just get Fountain Glimpsed. He did. Trixie just teleported in and got Fountain Glimpsed by Kuro, so cheeky play there. But at any rate, yeah, you have to play as if he's going to be there, and they've just gotten so much done in so many lanes. Even mid, the Meepo is winning. He's sitting at 38 CS to the 33 of Dendi right now.
And I'm not surprised at that at all. I actually think Dendi's doing much better than he should be. Because when you have early... Oh, here comes some
Fissure,
action.
There's the Earthbind. There's the... Wow.
Yeah.
That was about as well executed as it possibly could have been. He had 0 chance to react, and Fnatic is just on point, man. And if you're the captain of Na'Vi, what are you telling your team, and what's the plan to get things back on track?
Well, at this point, it's just stop feed. Like, just get some levels up onto Enigma, and he's actually got level 6, and your whole focus right now is just push. Right now, can we get a glimpse back on a Trixie? Yeah, he's dead. So this is a good start here into getting back in this game. Puppy, got to be a little bit careful. I don't know if the arrow, I got to click on him. Yeah, the arrow is deployed.
Ooh.
Taking things very, very close there, but maybe pressure this tower too. Transfer this into a tower push.
At bottom, though. Dead again,
oh God.
And No Tail survives the Sunstrike.
What's he doing down there?
Yep, killing the Mirana is nice, but losing Havos, what is that, his 5th death now? 4th, yeah, that is 4th death. And they're going to try to push up at top. That is one of the nice things about an Enigma. If you get any kind of an advantage in the laning phase, you can start taking tier 1s very quickly. But Trixie already with the Midas up, as you had mentioned, he should be able to defend this. They have a glyph, and he may just go for the deny here. I think that's kind of going to be the plan. There's going to be a TPN, and let's see. Yep, looking for the deny, and did not manage to get it. There's going to be a Static Storm that catches Excalibur, but no kinetic field, so they managed to track down Puppy, and they...
Big Ravage, bottom 2, catches 1, catches 2. Hani's got a stun, but yeah.
Yep. Well, Fnatic finally getting some work done. Level 7 on him now, and we can see Hani hanging out towards the bottom. Havos, 1, 4, and 2 now, and they're going to go hunting. Hani's going to be spotted, found out, and he's going to end up dying. Gets off the Fissure. Havos is actually taking tower damage, and not a ton, but here comes a TPN. Where's Havos? He's going to go for it, and will he get the kill? Nope. Well, they end up trading 1 for 1, but they're going to end up getting Fnatic at the back of all of it anyway. Puppy's right there. They are giving No Tail a lot more than he deserves. He's 3 and 2 right now and has stolen a fair amount of intelligence.
That's 5 deaths on your PA at 8 minutes. So this
is
not good. Regen rune spawns bottom. Puppy doesn't really need it, but he's probably just going to burn it. I think this wouldn't be so bad for Na'Vi if you weren't playing up against a Meepo that's pretty much having a field day. Like, Meepo is very, very scary if you don't shut him down on any player. But Excalibur, especially when you know he knows what he's doing.
Here we go, another shot at Dendi. There's going to be the global silence, the Earthbind. They didn't even need the silence. I don't know why they did, or why they used it. Guess just to make sure things are safe, but it makes sense. That's the only lane where they're really doing anything. And if you can sell out and bring him down, it's well worthwhile.
I actually think it's fine to use that. If he really quickly went into Ghost Walk, and he does have a value point into Wex, they did have a sentry down, so maybe it wouldn't have mattered. But nonetheless, better safe than sorry. I think it's much better to be liberal with your ultis early on like that.
Here's another smoke from Na'Vi. They're going to try to catch out No Tail. Coming around from behind. And
this should be a free kill.
Yep, should be. Maleficent lead, Static Storm. The kinetic field actually didn't catch him. He's glimpsed back into it, though, so fairly irrelevant. And No Tail making him work for it. And finally cleaned up.
Yeah, sorry to jump on you, but that's even better that he got the Sunstrike because he needs that. He needs the experience.
He needs to catch up. So they've got 3 at bottom, and they're ready to push into the Tier 1. In the meantime, Fnatic just continuing to build on what they have so far. We'll take a look at the gold graph here in just a moment. Want to see if there's going to be a big reaction. TPN from Hani. Hani, yep, decides to go ahead and spend his ulti. Puppey caught with that. Yeah, that's just a free kill. And Fnatic was locked out from any way to help. And now they're going to jump on Kuro. Kuro going to end up dying as well. It almost feels like they just have no idea how to even begin to cope with this. They do manage to get one away. Fnatic able to TP away in their face, but like every time Excalibur shows up, it just seems like they struggle to react to him whatsoever. And the play out of Hani, by the way, all day today has really been quite superb.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think Hani's just playing perfectly. But I feel like Na'Vi just gets way too like overzealous in thinking that they can, like, oh, they're not going to defend this, but they do every time.
Yep.
And like you have to think, okay, if they do defend it, would I get crushed? If the answer is yes, don't even try the push.
Right.
But they're just like skipping that and saying push. So I think they just need to think about things a little bit more. As simple as that sounds, but yeah, you just have to anticipate if they are actually going to defend this, then we have no place in being here. Just sit back a little bit, wait till they TP, then back off. When they run away, then go back, but be very careful about it at the same time. And yeah, there's no way this can be a Battlefield game, by the way, for Havos to answer my own question. Not with the start he's had.
They're going to commit more down to bottom. This tower is down to about a third, and they should be able to take it this time. We'll see how much Fnatic wants to invest into trying to defend it. Moonlight Shadow has been deployed, and it looks like, yeah, Na'Vi not liking their chances, decides to go ahead and back off and just take what damage it could get for free. Learning their lesson, I would say, instead of assuming there won't be any kind of reprisal on the way. Havos is doing what he can to play catch-up, but as of right now, his net worth is, well, he actually has caught up fairly well, if we're totally honest. At one point, he was less farmed than Fnatic, but he has managed to close that gap and actually get ahead. There's an arrow shot and connects on Fnatic. Here comes the rest of the help. Fissure's there, and he does get the Kraken, but it's irrelevant. Throws out the... Oh, no, he's not going to have any bounce. Doesn't matter. Leaps there, and a couple of auto attacks to clean up. And, yeah, Puppey and Dindy, really, it seems like they're trying to move around and trying to make things happen, but Fnatic seems to be one step ahead. No Tail spots out the room, but Dindy will take that.
Yeah, call me crazy. I actually think he should have just ulted and ran away there. I know he wants to save it for another engagement, but, like, at this point in the game, like, you aren't really able to fight them too much. So I would say there's 3 heroes there. They're all going to get proximity gold. I would have personally just popped the stick, popped the ulti, and run away. But
Bo's very low again.
Yep.
Let's see if they want to fight. Here comes Excalibur. And Na'Vi playing much more cautiously now whenever they anticipate everyone's going to be there en masse. Fnatic didn't use his ulti, so he's going to have it this time around. And we'll see if they're going to get something out of it. Puppey is level 6 as well. We'll see if he wants to use a black hole before the 40-minute mark this time. Game 2.
It's still going to be difficult. I mean, even just a long-range Fissure is actually really devastating before BKB. Really devastating. Because Earthshaker's already, you know, very far away.
Ooh, that Fissure caught 4, but it was just on the outside of him. They blocked them in. That could have been nasty, actually. But looks like they're going to go ahead and back off. Excalibur, in the meantime, has been using all of this attention given the mid to just free up for other Meepos to roam elsewhere. Could always poof them in if he needed them. But, yeah, he's in great shape so far. And it looks like Fnatic might try to keep the pressure up just to free up that space, as mentioned. With 2 now, yep, in the jungle. There is someone who might spot him. That's Havost, but not wanting to engage at all. No Tail continuing to spam out. Curse of the Silent, but looks like everyone going to stay... So, hang on, there's going to be a global silence used just before. He's caught in the kinetic field. They're going to move up. Fissure, there it is. Caught Dindy, and No Tail makes it away because of it. And Dindy, whoa, so close. Can they get... Yep, just using the ulti to secure that kill. Dindy has died a handful of times now, too. Excalibur is hooked up here in mid, and Fnatic might be in position to push. Dindy is 1 and 3.
Yeah, I don't blame Dindy, though, this game. I feel like he's had a really rough time with the rotations of Hani, not to mention just the disaster that happened before the laning phase. Excalibur had like a 10-minute Ags, now has a blink 4 minutes later. This is getting out of hand. This is what I talked about, just Meepo in general, not to mention Excalibur playing it, but it becomes so difficult because you think on paper, all we have to do is just kill one Meepo, but he's really freaking tanky, man. He's got 1,500 HP. Not to mention when you're as good as Excalibur as he is at playing this hero, it's very difficult to actually zone in on one Meepo. Yeah, Funnick's in a little bit of trouble. He does get the DB canceled, and he is dead.
He goes for the tower. No, actually, Silencer got the deny in front of him. That was actually kind of funny. I was watching that play out beginning to end. He was hiding, like right here, staying out of range as much as he could of vision of the tower and of the creeps, so he didn't know he was there, and he was like hesitating to go and try to go for the last hit. He waddles up, hits it twice, and 3 TPs come in all at once around him. Like, he knew it was risky. He went for it anyway, and he ended up paying the price. And a very nice deny, by the way, out of No Tail there.
Yeah, well played there. It looks like they're going to try to do some kind of sneak Roche here. It doesn't. Oh, there's an arrow that's actually coming out, so they do know what's happening. So I don't know if Na'Vi can really commit to this. They do have a tide. Oh, Trixie's in trouble. He's silenced out.
Oh, Excalibur's up on the high ground. He blinked and he got up there, and I'm not sure if that was intentional. He hits a 3-man Earthbind. Trixie manages to make it to the high ground. Now Excalibur going to work. Arrow from the high ground. Trixie contributing with every bit of 10 HP. Puppey next on the list. He's down. Earthbind catches Kuro. Make it 3. Excalibur, mistake or not, I think he meant to do it. Went to the high ground, tossed down the net, and turned everything around. Bailed Trixie out. And a big 3-kill tally added to the scoreboard. This game has hit critical mass. They're at about 7,500 gold advantage, and Fnatic is absolutely on a roll.
Not to mention, oh, hello, Roshan.
Oh,
I'll take this. Meepo's almost got his level 3 ult, too. I mean, I'm even asking you, like, what does he do? Like, it's gonna have to be like a YOLO ult from Puppey, but look at this farm.
There's the rock, and
actually a lot of damage.
Yep, they're gonna try to come in. Funnick deploy. Yes, he manages to kill him off. And this is Na'Vi's chance to turn this around. Fly's gonna be caught from behind. Fisher's there, but a big Echo Slam. Roshan even getting in the mix, but the follow-up is a little late in the coming. A lot of damage was done. They mech through it though, and now they're gonna be able to get at least one. Havos. Earthbind it down. Does he have the damage? He does. Ends up dropping it on the high ground. They manage to get Funnick as well. Funnick actually bought back. Arrow shot way wide. Puppey making a run for the tier 2. Nice attempt from Na'Vi. And they came very close to shutting them down, but they're not done. They're going to try to make something happen. Here's No Tail spotted. Trixie's on the low ground. Sacred Arrow in 1 second. He's hemmed in. Arrow not going to come. And looks like No Tail's just going to go ahead and eat it for the team while Meepo finishes off Roshan and now wants to move out. All things considered, that's a trade they'd be willing to make any day of the week. Trade a silencer for a Aegis on the Meepo.
Not to mention, I'm pretty sure Meepo got solo experience for that. He's level 18.
Absolutely.
He's level 18 at 17 minutes, man.
Absurd.
That's more than a level a minute. Oh, my God.
His net worth is at 9,200. He is nearly double the highest net worth on the entire side of Na'Vi right now. That is Dindy. Dindy's at about 6K now. And, yeah, basically, if you add Enigma and Invoker, who are the 2 highest net worth on Na'Vi, he's just short of that by about 1,000. That's how far ahead he is.
It's pretty crazy. And this is what happens when you have a, yeah, I have said it 1,000 times, but this Meepo gets out of control, especially with the start that he had.
Yep.
But I really feel like even if it wasn't Meepo, if it was another, you know, tempo controller hero 2 in mid that had that start that just Fnatic had in general, it could have been the same thing. Just the fact that it happened to be a Meepo 2, it's just really, really bad. And not to mention that Fnatic is, as we talked about, one of the better teams that stacks constantly, and Meepo utilizes stacks so well.
Oh, he does. And looks like they're ready to go ahead and take a shot at the Tier 1 top. This will be the last remaining Tier 1. And Fnatic ready to bring it down as well. There's a spot onto Trixie. He's using that haster and leaps out of the kinetic field, and we'll be able to make it back. Now they're going to engage again from the high ground and bringing down 2 again.
Oh, my God.
Excalibur hitting the 2-man Earthbind, poof damage plus a fissure. And Na'Vi is just collapsing under the pressure, under the immense weight of the farm that Excalibur has managed to put together. Not to say anything about his damn talent. Hani trying to chase down Havos. Havos, yep, is. All right, Havos. He's going to come back. Oh! Playing possum a bit, and he does end up dead.
That's such a Havos play.
It is. It absolutely is. Yeah, Nahani.
XD.
Kappa. But still, Fnatic. Big plays from Havos, they're not. There you go. Oh, yeah. But we're short of 20 minutes, by the way. We haven't even talked about this. We have 30 kills in 19 minutes. That's the kind of game this has been.
The stat I care about is
38 kills, actually.
The stat I cannot believe still is that Meepo's maintaining this more than 1 level a minute. Now he's level 20 at 19 minutes.
This is ridiculous.
He will be, okay, if he keeps this up, like, can you imagine a fully leveled 25 Meepo sub 25 minutes? That's just fucking crazy, man.
That's called cheat mode. That's called what the fuck mode. But Fnatic, I think, is about ready to run away with this one. And yeah, 10K. So in excess of 500 gold per minute lead they generated. The experience is even higher, 15,000 right now in favor of them. If you're Na'Vi, what's the plan? What possible answer do you have?
The question, you know, I said earlier it was like a YOLO ult from Enigma, but there's just no possible way that you can do that against. Like I said, the Silencer's good, but honestly, Earthshaker's even better. Like, because it's not an ultimate, it's a really far range nuke that stuns.
Havost blinks to his teammates, and Excalibur might be caught.
This might be
a little over aggressive.
He needs to use that black hole. I feel like he could have done that right there.
Now, if they do manage to bring the Aegis down, they need to scatter, though. Yeah, look, they don't want any part of this when he comes back up. There's the global silence, and Excalibur back up. Let's see if he can catch anyone. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to.
Dendy, in the meantime, gets taken out by Mirana. That was actually a smart play by Puppy, and I have to knock myself there, but he's scared of the Silencer ulti. Yep, Excalibur, he should be fine, man. This guy knows what he's doing.
Yep.
Again, 21 at 20 minutes, and it will just continue to grow. I bet he could kill all of them, man. I bet he could.
He's got help. He's got an Earthshaker down below him. Excalibur caught. He's down to about
Earthshaker has blink, double
ulti. There it is, and the Ravage to turn it around, though. There's that black hole they've been looking for. They managed to bring him down for the second time in as many minutes and get a bonus Earthshaker kill on top of it. Whole time, though, N0tail and Fly chipping away at this tier 2 bottom. And a nice step in the right direction, but they're going to need about 100 more to get things back under control. And they have brought down Fnatic. Fnatic's now in a bit of trouble, maybe. Gets hit with Curse of the Silent, Fly's right there with him. Has Chain Frost in 1 second. Lacks the mana for it, though. Hits it with the Frost Blast. He Krakens out of it, actually. And yeah, N0tail pokes up. And best hide-and-seek player ever, Fnatic on Tidehunter. And
he could have maybe cast the
barely
Curse of the Silent there, but yeah, might not have been enough.
N0tail down at bottom now. Killed in front of his own tower.
I don't think he meant to TP there. That was one of those panic modes. Or maybe he did. I don't know. But nonetheless, could Na'Vi be kept, maybe coming back in this game? I don't know.
They kind of, I mean, they're turning it. It's not, they still got a ways to go, especially with the Meepo on the board, but he's been dead for a while. So he's going to be back up. And yeah, they managed to take another tower, and they managed to defend their own tier 2. I think that's just an unmitigated win across the board. So the last 2 or 3 minutes really going Na'Vi's way, and this is just what they do. They seem to pull it together when things are in their worst situations, and if you make mistakes in the face of them because you get a little cocky or a little too comfortable, Na'Vi will capitalize.
Yeah, but Havost's farm is just so bad. Like, he's got phased Yasha now. I think he needs he wants the Manta just to be able to get out of certain things and slows and snares and all that jazz. But it's going to be a ways coming. Something's on the career. Maybe it's an ulti orb. No, it's actually, okay, he's going for the Yasha into BKB, I suppose. Or maybe it's just a changing Yasha. I don't know. That'd be kind of weird, though. BKB is definitely good here.
Hang on. If they get Excalibur again here, they're going to be in pretty good shape. No, they're going to try to turn it around. Havost
global silence
is mech'd, and there's going to be the Static Storm. Havost blinks out. Excalibur so tanky. And Puppy trying to chase him down with the rest of the team. There's an Earthbind to slow it down, and he does manage to make it away. A little bruised, but not dead. Now, Hani spotted in the river. Fnatic hit with a fissure following the enchant totem. There's going to be a glimpse back onto him.
Oh!
And blinks away immediately.
Very well played.
Arrow. Oh, does connect on Havost. They may be able to collapse on him. That was from a long way away, and yep, Havost is dead again. Now they're going to try to turn it around. Havost, no, he blinks away. Woo, one auto attack. Not enough fissure, just off. He's continuing to do what he can from a distance, but he is running with 20 HP. They did manage to catch Fnatic. Kuro sidesteps the arrow and should be able to make it away as well. But Havost looked to be dead to rights and managed to blink away at the last second, made it away. He could not have had more than 10 HP. He had 20 after a few seconds of running. N0tail in the meantime taking some damage at bottom. Puppy's there, and that's an easy kill. So Na'Vi gives up 1, but gets 1 in return.
This still shows you the power of Invoker with just a Necrobook. He had Necrobook 2, completely whiffed his Sunstrike and his Meteor. Like, totally missed it, but still with just Cold Snap plus level 2 book, completely took him down. 666, okay. Well,
sure.
Yep. Yeah, crazy stuff. That extra evasion, he's actually maxed his evasion before his Phantom Strike, and it really paid dividends there. 50% evasion. I wonder, and I'm gonna look stupid if I don't know this. Maybe you do. If he got like MKB on Team Evo, he's not going it. But if he got MKB as he finishes a sheep,
hang on, Havost caught in mid, and yep, that's another one.
Oh god.
Meepo helped out by Fly and Trixie. And how many times has Havost died now? That's 9 deaths. He has died 9 times in a 24-minute game.
That is 4 + 4 + 1.
Yep, exactly. 10 minus 1. That's just 1 less than 10. All right.
Yeah, but if Meepo gets like an MKB, I wonder, do all of his Meepos get True Strike? Do you know this?
I don't know.
I would think they would, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Seems to make sense.
It doesn't look like he's going to go for it right now. He's got Sheep, which is even better. So
that is best left to those more knowledgeable than myself.
But
I would like to know the answer.
Oh, top puppy, he's in trouble. Here comes the Blinkson
down
from Excalibur, and Mech doesn't do anything against that. Very easy kill. He's level 24. Oh, he hasn't got it. He's 24 at 25. What a freaking noob, man.
How bad are you? Get good, son. Yeah, about to hit the level cap. I'll take 25 at 26, and I would imagine Fnatic will too, as they're kind of spreading the map. No Tail hanging around. He's level 13. He is working on his Scepter and making. Is he going like a hybrid build? Who? Yeah, he actually got the Oblivion Staff after. There it is. Okay, that's why he did it. He already had the pieces, just had them delivered. But he had the Oblivion Staff up before he finished.
Yeah, I saw that too. That's really weird.
Yeah.
That actually makes no... Maybe, I don't know. That's very weird. I don't know what to say about that, but...
Top tier 2 takes a spill. And Fnatic slowly clearing this board off. If there's anything I could say about Fnatic, I feel like their taking of towers has not been what it could be. They still have 2 outer tier towers remaining, the tier 1 or tier 2 mid and tier 2 bottom. And I feel like that needs to be the next goal. If they can do that and begin to strangle them out, Havost, as far behind as he is not going to be able to do very well trying to farm in front of his own tier 3 all game. And Fnatic is just kind of waiting for someone to step out of position now. Most of Na'Vi, though, is spread out. We've got 2 in the Radiant jungle, Dindy, as well as Kuro, and farming the Ancients of Havost.
Yeah, as much of a threat, too. Oh, here comes an arrow up top. Nope, not going to hit. As much of a threat as... Oh, here there's a Fissure, though. It does block him in, I think. No, he can maybe go around.
Here comes the TP in. And, yeah, they're not going to chance it. So they are trying to hem them in right now, doing their best to suffocate them a bit. Mirana finishes her BKB. That early Might is paying huge dividends. She's actually number 2 in overall net worth, higher than Dindy even. And taking a look at Dindy's build, he went Midas as well. He just has died a handful of times. He's 1 in 4, so another tough game for him.
For Dindy, yeah. I mean, he still does actually a considerable amount of damage. And I would say, actually, that they have decent heroes against bursting Meepo. Like, they do. It's just a matter of he's kind of slippery on a player that knows what he's doing with Blink and everything like that. Not to mention, the Global Silence actually makes Meepo so much stronger because one of Meepo's, like, his weaknesses is, you know, massive AoE, which Na'Vi does have, but they can't do it if they can't cast those spells. So the Silencer Meepo combination is actually very, very potent.
Roche will be taken for free by Na'Vi. So they're going to smoke right out, and they want to try to get a kill. They're going to run up on Meepo, and yep, spotted out. He's caught. There's going to be an arrow. The Global Silence is there. They got to get some work done quick. No, the poof comes in behind it, but there's the Ravage to try to turn it around. Aegis is popped. There's a black hole, but immediately knocked out of it. Fnatic dies on the high ground. Here comes the rock.
Got him.
But Trixie leaping ahead. Here's No Tail chasing down Puppy. And they're continuing to try to chase down Kuro. He's going to manage to glimpse him back. Behind that, we see Havost doing what he can. And the TP out is effective. The rest of Fnatic a little spread out. They ended up trading 3 for 1. And that included an Aegis as well. Havost is going to go on Hani. And yes, 1 big crit.
Wow.
Gets his blade wet. And Silencer, in the meantime, denies that mid-tier 1.
Arrow onto Havost.
Oh, caught. Do they have the damage to follow it up? He has the Maelstrom. He's going to go. Here comes. Yep, there's the Silence. Curse of the Silent. Trixie ends up cleaned up. Havost will end up dying because of it. But trading himself away at the end of the day, it was a 3 for 4 exchange. But again, that included an Aegis on the side of Na'Vi.
Yeah, he got some lucky crits there, but he didn't get so lucky when he was fighting 1v1 with the pod. Fly actually juked really nicely when Havost was chasing him. He went through the trees near the mid tower, and instead of going to the left, he just went to the right a little bit. It was kind of an unconventional spot to walk. TP'd out and juked Havost. So nicely played there by Fly. By the way, he is 8-3-11. That's pretty damn good for a Lich.
Oh, yeah. It's like a pub star Lich, man. Pub Liches. And just snag 3 or 4 early kills with Chain Frost and spiral out of control from there. But yeah, 34-19. This is a 53 kill game in just half an hour. And as dominant as Fnatic has been, it seems like this game's going to go for a while. And that's going to, of course, delay our second series, so apologies for that. But sometimes it happens. Dota's Dodo. Hero spotted out by Excalibur now. We'll go ahead and use the kinetic filter on the TP away in his face, and, yep, we'll be able to do so.
Wow.
So heads-up play.
Yeah, very nice. That was a really good play, actually. I'm surprised he didn't die just to sheer auto attacks from Meepo, but yeah, nonetheless. Oh, also, that last fight, that Chain Frost, really, as we have that pause, that Chain Frost really saved the day. Nicely timed. It was a fantastic black hole by Puppey, but
the mini stun from Chain Frost.
Yeah, it was pretty. Again, these are just, they're picking Enigma early, and they're somewhat getting punished for it because they have so many good things against it. And now, if the refresher is out for Silencer, this will be a sad day for Puppey once again.
And Honey, with that gem, doing a little counter warding now. Crossing over to the 30-minute mark. 14K gold, the lead that they have generated. About 20K experience, but Dindy making a proposition. I will give you...
Don't bark.
That's not kind. That is not kind. Fly, give you 3 treasures.
That's actually pretty funny. But anyway, all right.
Here we go.
We're family-friendly.
Dindy just got a greeting from Fnatic again.
Shouldn't be typing, bro.
Yep.
I didn't actually see it.
That was definitely a type death. that definitely was. He was standing in lane out here and was in the middle of that conversation and died. So, yep. Never take it to all chat, kids. Bad things happen.
Oh, boy.
Bad things happen. 30 minutes. And, oh, now they're going to engage. Oh, there's the arrow that came from the absolute shoelaces. Able to track him down. Puppey caught on the high ground. There's a force staff to get him back. Now they're going to engage on the Havos. Havos doing what he can. Manages to blink on the fly. Fly eating a lot of damage. Gets off the Chain Frost, but does next to nothing. Havos is slowed. Finished off with the Stifling Dagger. Excalibur has an Earthbind. He is yet to throw
really
it.
Nice movement there. He's still probably going to die, but it was a nice try by Havost. He gets some really lucky crits right at the get-go after that Phantom Strike, I'll say that. But right there, that Global Silence is exactly how Trixie should have used it the last game. Just like no questions asked. He stunned him first, the arrow came out. It looked like he was dead to rights, but still you secure that kill. You secure that they're not going to have any other follow-up with that. And nonetheless, the top tower is getting pressured. It's about half HP. Excalibur, he's using space. He just goes right to mid, boosts right to mid to put a lot of damage on the mid tower too. So, yeah, Meepo, he's getting out of control.
He is gigantic. Just gigantic. Now Kuro, caught with the Earthbind. There's going to be a Static Storm and a Kinetic Field. They're trying to find a way to keep this going. Rock is dropped. They may get Excalibur on the way out. One more auto attack might have been it, but the Force Staff to get one to safety. Here come the Necro Creeps, and all the Meepos heading back home. Only got to get one back to the fountain, and the rest will follow you.
Trixie trying to find a kill. One more auto attack. Dendy, he uses the magic stick. Very nicely played by Dendy. Trixie kind of in a weird spot, but Dendy does get the kill. Nicely played.
Well, Na'Vi manages to hold things together a little bit longer. They lost the Tier 3, but all of the Raxes remain standing, at least for the moment. But it is beginning to, it's getting to the point where you literally just drown in the sea of gold that your opponent has amassed. Like 20K at 32 minutes, so well above that 500 gold per minute lead generated mark. And they're just continuing to push that mark higher and higher and higher. But, I mean, Meepo does, there does come a point where he kind of caps out. I mean, he's already level 25, as we've seen. And, yeah, he's basically 6-slotted. There's not a whole lot more he could do. He could sell his boots, and if he wanted to, go with bots and that kind of thing.
Well, he's still got one more slot for his TP, so he can get, he's probably going to get Scotty. I think that's what he usually gets, and that's, the best item you can, I think, for Meepo. It's just a massive slow, even through BKB. So, lots of alt chat here in this game. But even with his net worth just being ridiculously high, you're also got a very high net worth on both the Potom and the Silencer. Like, Potom's hitting like a truck now, too. Almost has an MKB of her own. And yeah, this is game of all chats. Here we go with the Potom ulti, perhaps maybe engagement up top or just to save somebody, but yeah.
Funnick makes it away. And in mid, couple hanging around. Excalibur reveals himself. And they're just going to continue to strangle them out. Na'Vi. Thanks, I. Appreciate it, brother.
Who let that guy in?
Oh, wait. But, yeah. I don't know what they can do right now. I mean, they've got a lot of their core items up. I mean, a mech, pipe, and all that, and that's nice. And a boast has got his BKB up. I mean,
sheep.
Yeah, this happens. There's a global silence, and I'll tell you what, The silences have been much more on point. There's going to be actually a turnaround as the BKB's there. Refresh on the global silence. Havos, do they have
can't
the
blink
damage?
away. He's still freaking silenced after the refresh.
Oh,
there
we go. Now they're going to catch him in a Static Storm kinetic field. Fnatic on the outside of this. Didn't have enough mana for Ravage. Couldn't do anything. Now they're going to mech up the Meepos. Puppey next to drop. He's down. Havos has to go heal. He can't do anything right now. Way too low. But yeah. That's unfortunate.
The black hole was cast with an Earthbind in the air as it was being cast. Canceled it immediately. Like, I actually canceled it before it was even like really cast. It was like the worst possible timing. I don't think that was intended by Excalibur. If it was, he is just freaking next level. But yeah, I think it was just really unfortunate timing. It probably would have got canceled by anything or something anyway, because there's just so much shit to cancel it. But nonetheless, Tide Ravage wasn't used. I don't even know if it was on cooldown or whatever. But racks go down. Mission accomplished here finally for Fnatic as they approach what a nearly 30,000 gold lead is amassed, 20,000 experience for them. This is looking like GG territory.
Yep, Excalibur trying to take a run at the top racks as well. Has one Meepo caught, but that glyph is going to expire. And yep, they're just going to resell out. And here we go. Let's see if they're just going to go for it. Funix there, he ends up getting Hex. There's the Earthbind and a lot of poof damage. However, the Ravage does go off. All of Na'Vi is there. They should be able to bring him down at the very least, but here comes the rest of Fnatic, chasing them away. And yeah, trying to see if they want to just make a run at it. There's a crit on the Stifling Dagger. There's going to be a glimpse that time, and No Tail.
He got the racks, though.
Yep, brought
Mission
down.
accomplished.
Yep, well worth it, I do believe, because that's 2 melee racks as well, not even the ranged.
Yep. Oh, Hani is trying to get spotted out. Nice little spot behind that tree. Just barely missed the Midnight Pulse from Puppey, so he couldn't get the Malefice done.
Havos just got hit with an arrow through the woods, through the creeps.
He's caught a lot of them this game.
Yeah, he has. He can catch arrows pretty good. He's been that kind of game for him, unfortunately. Speaking of, let's take a look at how everyone is kind of stacked up. 11-4 performance from both Meepo and the Mirana. Of course, that's Excalibur, as well as Trixie. Both have had great games. No Tail has played a phenomenal silencer. He's at 10-7. His ults have really been great this game. Exactly what we were looking for in game 2, but was lacking at times. Havos did bounce back a bit. He had died, what was it, 9 times? He was seriously like 2-9 or 4-9 or something. At any rate, he has managed to get close to even, 10-11-6 for him right now. And not a bad game out of Fly either. We were talking about how good of a start he had. Still sitting at an 8-4-14 record. The rest below that, kind of a grab bag. 1-7, not that unexpected on Kuro. Disruptor, as good of a hero as he is, he does die pretty easy.
He's been playing really well, though, despite his circumstances. And despite, Na'Vi pretty much, I mean, they're getting crushed, really, as far as the numbers are concerned. I do like Havos' build, though. I think you have to get this against a Silencer. Because if you saw there, like, forever, he could not even blink strike after. Oh, here we go.
Caught an arrow in mid. Doing his best Havos impression. No, able to ghost walk away. And they do track him down from behind. So able to bring him down. He's down for 70 seconds now. He does have buyback, and he may very well need it. They can't afford to give up a whole lot more ground than they already have. Roche is up, and it is being pinged. Hani has an eye on it. There's an arrow, and yep, looks like they are ready to rock and roll. Take the Aegis and try to close this one out. Just a reminder, the winner of this does move on in the upper bracket, and will face Empire. Looks like that's going to be Fnatic, based on the metrics at least. 25,000 gold lead, 15,000 experience. Our second series will be coming up immediately following the conclusion of this game. It'll be Rocks taking on Evil Geniuses. And that's our another round 2 upper bracket game. Looks like Fnatic going to move on through. Yeah, there's a Scotty done now on the Meepo, Excalibur big, and the full Mjolnir build complete now on Trixie.
Yeah, it's going to be so freaking hard. Like, oh, now Rod of Atos here up onto Big Daddy himself with another 1,600 gold in his pocket. He has double ulti and 110. Maybe they want to play it really safe. I think they can just crush Na'Vi and just run over them. Here we go, Na'Vi.
Yep, they're going to go for it. There's the global silence, though, right on point. They have to pull back and wait for their ultimates to refresh.
Oh,
I don't know if it's ready. Oh, Havos went in. There's a huge epicenter. Or, a huge black hole, rather. Huge ravage to come out of it as well. And Fnatic helping to clean house. The Echo Slam, gigantic.
GG.
Yep, that's it. The epicenter is so big, or the Echo Slam's so big, I wanted to call it an epicenter. But, yeah, big finish. A lot of fireworks down the stretch. And Fnatic, after winning a dominant Game 1, gave up Game 2, but able to repeat that dominance here in Game number 3. The stand-in Excalibur continues to be a standout as he once again on Meepo
I like that.
puts out a performance worth remembering. What a series and what a game to close things out, my friend.
Absolutely. I mean, everyone played so well. You were mentioned in his numbers don't really reflect it, but Hani on the Earthshaker, 3-4 and 27, he just really created so much momentum for Fnatic that game. Created a lot of space. The nice Fisher block right at the beginning to just start the 4-0 exchange before creeps even got to their spots. And it's really hard to bounce back from that. At the very end, Havos unfortunately didn't use his BKB.
No.
The sheep came out before he was able to do anything. Honestly, though, that's the nitpicky. Like, the game was over by that point anyway. But just really well played by Fnatic. It's really hard to, like, gauge a game and how well a team played when shit like that happens at the beginning. Because that's really not how a game is supposed to be played. And you got to question, really, the intent behind what Na'Vi wanted to do right when they started gushing from Fnatic right from the get-go. Because, again, I mentioned, the gush is basically the extent of their damage in that little engagement. After that, it was a glimpse into what? You're not going to level Malefic's level, and that's terrible. You don't have a spell on Denny. It's not physically possible. So, I mean, they had the Stifling Dagger, but that's really bad at level 1. They just didn't have the damage.
Well, Fnatic taking advantage of that situation and moving on now through our upper bracket. I'm AC. Next to me is Trout. We're here to bring you all of the D2L Western Challenge playoff coverage. And speaking of, we're not going to waste a whole lot of time. We got teams waiting, ready to get into the next lobby. It's going to be EG taking on X Rocks Kiss. Once again, Fnatic downs Na'Vi 2-1. Na'Vi not out, though. They simply go down to the lower bracket. Again, make sure you follow the D2L on Twitter and HyperX. It's at D2LGG and at HyperX, and I'm at AC, at AYESEE. He's at TralfDota, TRALFDOTA. Stick with us. We'll be right back with our second series of the day, EG taking on X Rocks.